Colin Brendan here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short. And unless you've been living under a rock within our world, you will have noticed that Download Festival. Sorry, I've said it wrong already. Liquid Death presents Download 2024. Announced its, a huge amount of bands for its festival next year. The one taking place in June as per usual. I missed the dates, 14th to the 16th of June, 2024. It's Download. It's a big band announcement, as they always do. You can't argue about the way the festival does these announcements. It's not like the drip feed 3 or 4 bands at a time. Don't know who I'm referencing there, but maybe, these big announcements where you just got all these bands in one hit. It's always nice to see. And Download have got into the habit of doing it, announcing, God, there must be, without counting, there must be 60, 70 bands here, at least.
Yeah, it looks that way.
It does look that way. And initially, I had no interest in doing a video about this, if I'm honest. It's Download. I take it always with a pinch of salt. I never really consider it as a festival I will go to for a weekend. But I always wonder, will there be something there that makes me consider buying a day ticket, pop down there and so on, that kind of thing. But I didn't really think about doing a video because, of course, the announcement went out and some people hated it. Some people loved it. I see it as it's Download. Stop thinking, for starters, that it's a metal festival. It's never been a metal festival. It's an alternative rock and metal festival with all these facets off in other directions. But the more I started digging into comments and the more I started reading, I started to notice a trend. And it seemed basically wherever I went, whatever platform I went on, or whatever post I went under, the comments were predominantly negative. Like normally it's 1 or 2 voices, and then there's people going, well, I'm really happy about this, I'm really happy that. It seems to be overwhelmingly negative about this announcement. Obviously heavily weighted towards the headliners. We'll get to that at the end of this video. We'll cover them at the end. But it kind of took me by surprise. And then Download today, as the time recording, released this horrendous fucking video with Liquid Death, which is this. I've heard this name about, I haven't paid attention, but I now know it's water in a can. It's water in a fucking can. So they're the big sponsor. No, they released this video that basically was a party for industry people or influencers about the announcement. And it was the most crass, cheesy, goddamn cringe thing I'd seen, to the point where it's like, oh my God, that's really, really bad. And the comments under that were really, really negative as well. And it's just kind of like, what's going on here? Where is all this hate and stuff coming towards Download? Because I still stand by what I said in a post yesterday, which is basically, you can look at this lineup and you can easily find bands that you will enjoy on it. One man's trashy lineup is another man's or woman or whatever's wonderful lineup. Like, stop be stupid. You can't sit there and say that's a shit lineup because you don't like it, because for someone else might love it. So if you expected me to come on here and be ranting and raving about this is a terrible lineup and all that, you're not really going to get that. I am going to put myself a step off the fence to say, on a personal point of view, what they've announced here I find incredibly poor. But I'll explain kind of why as we go along. But overall, I'm like, let's be serious here, people. The people crying about it being no longer a metal fest and all that is insane to me. I don't know. What have you thought of this?
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously read the comments and all that. My feelings generally on the internet are that it's mostly a negative place anyway. It's not always, but it's obviously a negative space. I do genuinely, don't get me wrong, I don't like everyone's opinions. I couldn't give a crap about half of them. But for if you personally, what is Facebook, right? It's a place for humans write their opinion. So if 25 people or 25,000 people say this is a shit lineup, then it is to them and they got the right to say it. The thing that always confuses me the most is how many of those comments come from people that say they don't go to Download. And I find that sometimes more interesting, is like, oh my God, that lineup's terrible, that's why I don't go. And I was like, but you are all over this post, didn't you, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? If you don't go to, I don't go to Download. Do you know what I had to do before we came in this call today? I also don't go to Download. But I don't even follow the page on Facebook. So I like to quickly go in and follow the page and get the picture of it. I better have a look and see who's been announced. I saw a bit of it the other day, but I didn't read it all because I don't go. So I was like, it doesn't really matter if it's a good or bad lineup. I've never in my time of looking at lineups, I guess, seen a Download lineup that would justify a full weekend for me. But despite it not always being catered to my music taste, I've also would be lying if I said there hasn't been every single download would have had enough bands there for me to go, oh, there's a good day's worth of music for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know
Yeah.
splits and all that sort of stuff. So
There's enough bands over the entire weekend that you can make
no
it
lineup in
happen.
the world can ever be a shit lineup, but it can be a shit lineup in your opinion, and that's the difficult the bit with it. You know, social media is that it's all just people delivering opinions.
Mm.
I didn't see the video that you mentioned, but again, because I don't really follow much that they did, like the whole download they do. I did read an as weird kind of cringy article with like the main organizer, is it Andy Copping or whatever it was earlier on when he was talking about. It almost sounded like he was trying to justify the lineup a bit. He's saying, "Oh, we had to reach out to 21 headliners."
Oh, I saw this. I didn't read the
Yeah,
article, but I saw
it,
it.
it was only like it wasn't much. It was like a couple of like snippets, like do you know what I mean? But he's like, "Oh, it's so hard to book bands this year." You know, lots of everyone's having difficulty. A lot of bands that aren't on cycles and stuff like that. He said like they reached out to 21 different headliners and they usually only reach out to 6 or 7, but this time
Mm.
they reached out to 21. But I couldn't make sense of the comment. I struggled to make sense of it because you usually reach out to 6 or 7, but this year you reached out to 21. But that suggests that there were more bands available. You narrowed it down to these 3,
Mm.
but there were 21 available, whereas in previously there were 6 or 7. So that suggests that there might have been easier to book. But it also makes it. I would love to know what the if these were the 3 headliners they settled with, what the other 18 were. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I did see that as well. And I thought, like I said, you can kind of take it one of two ways. And I actually completely understand
Mm,
the whole rod for your back thing that Download's created, A, for itself,
yeah.
but also attendees have created for the festival.
Yeah,
And this
I
is
mean, I
where
also
shit goes
think
down.
like and this isn't download specific, but this is festival specific, and it is only my opinion because I have no sort of like industry insight or statistics or evidence to back this up. But my opinion, it feels like there are more festivals. It feels like it's been busier for gigs and festivals for a while. It also feels like it's like this whole thing now as well to you book a band for your festival and you make them sign a contract that they won't play anywhere else
Mm.
in the country that year or something like that. You know what I mean? So, festivals, if that's the thing now, are just going to be biting themselves. Like you used to be able to, like, you look at a festival and go, oh, sweet, hopefully half of them will be at Bloodstock. But then you just
Yeah,
see
because they're doing the rounds.
exclusive. And you go, okay, well, they want then. You know what I mean? So it's a strange thing. The thing I would I would always say with me, like I don't have any hatred of download. I don't why would I hate it? I don't care.
Mm.
And last year, if it hadn't sold out, I would have gone for a day. That was my plan because I wanted to
Hmm.
go and on one of the Metallica days. I was hoping there would just be a few other bands that day, but it sold out and sort of saved me the headache. My thing with download has always simply been size. For me, I feel like it's just a bit bigger than I care to have to deal with.
Yep.
That's all it is. The other side of it, though, and I know you agree with this because you've spoken about this probably more vocally than I have, but I know we're both in the same camp, is that in previous years, whenever we have looked at anything like download, we've often said that, oh God, same old headliners, same old this, same old that. Isn't it time to give not necessarily smaller, but more different bands a chance, you
Hmm.
know? And I don't know all the bands on this, but it does kind of look to me a little bit like, is that maybe what they're doing? That kind of, I don't know, is that a good thing?
That's kind of what I'm saying. So I think Download, like I said, have made a rod for an own back in that people expect big. So when big isn't given to them, they get mad about it. Whatever they define as big, it needs to be that size. The biggest clue to that in what was one of the most insane predictions leading up by many, many different posters and people online was that Rammstein were going to be one of the bands for playing this year's Download. This is Rammstein, who next year, once again, are doing a massive European stadium tour. This band does stadiums, yet somehow people have convinced themselves that they were going to be playing Download because they did a few years back, pre the stadium shows they did last year. That was the level of, to me, the where that expectation has become. So Download is always going to let you down, but you just nailed it as well. What is it, people? Had they booked fucking Iron Maiden again, you'd be crying and screaming about that because same old, same old. Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, and someone else, a new band, as you were, Avenged Sevenfold again, or whatever. It'd be screaming about the same old, and stuff like that. It doesn't work. They can't win, basically. However, I don't have much sympathy for Download because it is a corporate machine now. It is a monster. It is become, it's almost eating itself alive because the ticket prices keep increasing. And now they can't lower them because obviously increasing costs. And not only that, had they lowered them this year, it would have been, people would have just gone, well, that's because the lineup's not as good, and so on and so on. It is getting more and more expensive. It's a demand.
The whole thing, like, you know, obviously often had these similar bands headlining, you know. Last year is a very good example. You know, they did like, what was it? It was an extra day last year, wasn't it?
Two Metallicas,
two Metallica
Slipknot,
days. Yeah.
And I mean, Bring Me the Horizon.
You know, and that's I'm sure is a big thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I think well, I mean, I couldn't buy tickets for the Metallica days.
It was the first time they'd ever sold out, yeah.
You know, so they're obviously still ticket sellers, but I guess maybe the problem a little bit with this, and I could understand this in a fan's perspective, is like, perhaps if they knew, they must have known, right? Everyone could see it, that at some point you're going to not always be able to get the big bands. You're going to have to start trusting in the bands like a level down, maybe even a couple more below that. Maybe that's the sort of thing you should start planning for like 5-10 years ago, so that maybe your Friday night starts becoming, you know, you start transitioning to that rather than going, hey, last year Metallica, Slipknot, Metallica, next year, oh yes, we're just going to do that big bang. You know what I mean? And that, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe people have a right to criticize that. And actually, if you sort of build towards this and transitioned, I don't know, that would make more sense. It'd be the same for us, you know, like if, I don't know, like we obviously we're Bloodstock. I know you go to a lot of other festivals around that as well. We also do Slam Dunk and stuff like that. You know, if Slam Dunk decided they wanted to introduce, I don't know, more death metal to it, and then they put a death metal stage on, and they put 4 or 5 bands onto it. This is obviously wishful thinking on my part, but. And that would be cool. And I think most people might come to accept that because it would still be predominantly Slam Dunk, right? But if you just went, oh, we need to make a change here because we've already booked every punk band 74 times. We got to bring some other things in. So then just the next year, there was just nothing but death metal bands on it. You're going to have to expect criticism. You have to open up to your new audiences and your new bands and your new levels, but you can't expect big bang approach to please everybody, you know?
Of course. But like I say, I don't have sympathy for Download purely because of the ticket prices. You know, I checked before we started this video, a 3-day weekend ticket pre-fee. So this is the standard price on Ticketmaster before the fees are added, is £300. That is for the 3-day. That's
just standard camping. That's not like VIP
standard
or whatever.
Camping. Yep, standard camping. That's it.
So you've always got to weigh it up.
It is a big old chunk of money, which brings me to one of the biggest problems in when we kind of just going to fly through the lower tier section of these basically the bands that don't have their own goddamn font, that lot. And one of the problems is, while we can point at band and say, yeah, we know that band, we like that band and so on, I've looked at this and gone, well, all these bands I like, I could either see for 20 quid in a venue and see an hour and a half instead of a 40 or 40 minute show at Download. Just tell me, like, that's the biggest problem I have with this section. But we will go through it and we'll just point out some of the ones, I guess, that you're aware of, or you think is actually a good booking.
Yeah.
All right, 311. I'm is that a pop band? That's a boy band, isn't it?
No, wasn't there a 911? I think it was called, weren't they?
You know, that 90s band. Yep, 911.
Yeah. They played at Pumpshead Manor School once. I remember that when I was in Eaglefield. We went down there to like beat up the 6th form boys or something like that. But anyway, that's what we used to.
Do you know 311?
No, I'd never heard of them. No.
Fair enough. Alien Weaponry. It's a good booking. It's a heavy band. It's also a young band making a name. They've been a bit quiet over the past year or so. Maybe this is the start of them kind of touring again and getting out there. And who knows? New music in the cards.
Yeah. I mean, cool band, yeah. So.
All Them Witches.
I recognize the name, but I'm not. I don't know. It's got witches in it, and that's what sometimes they like the names. I'm like, or is it them? Or is it Burn the Witches or something like that? I don't know. But anyway.
Oh, well, we have Burning Witches, the thrashy band.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure I know them.
No, I don't. Alpha Wolf, yeah. I mean, this is perfect for a younger audience who want to kick the shit out of each other. It's Alpha Wolf. They've fitted Download. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure, but I would be surprised. This is probably not their first time here.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I don't know who Alpha Wolf are. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I don't mind them. They're probably, in a way, like it's more like, you know, like how it is with a festival, right? Especially if it's one that you don't go to, you kind of want to hope to catch bands that you might not want to buy a ticket for yourself. Whereas something like Alien Weaponry we've seen before, and if they were over here again, I would be probably buying a ticket to go and see
Yeah,
them.
that's
So
it.
like something like Alpha Wolf being there would be like, oh, that's a good opportunity for me to go and watch some of that.
Yeah, yeah, it's that, isn't it? It's the festival bands you wouldn't
Yeah,
necessarily pay for. Alt Bluk Era,
nothing.
BLK Era, don't know them.
Nah, I've got nothing on that.
Atreyu, obviously a pretty decent, big, sizable name who've actually been killing it with their latest releases. I've really been enjoying what they've been doing. So to me, they're a good booking.
Yeah, I know they are. I've never really got into them, to be honest. So for me, it would be another festival checkout band, but that'd be it.
Yeah, Bleed from Within. I mean, was it Bloodstock last year, this year, or the year before? Bleed from Within were there. I think it was this year. I don't think we saw it. I saw them, but they've been around a bit as well.
Yeah, they're a decent band. So quite a,
They are.
nice in this sort of bottom section at least, some decent sort of metal bands, really, that are kind of Bloodstock rotations there.
You're right. But then we get Brand of Sacrifice, and I don't know them.
No.
Calva Louise.
Nothing on that either.
Celestial Sanctuary. What I am happy to see them book for download. They are an incredibly heavy band for download to have. I'm seeing them in January, and I expect to see them a few more times next year as they are currently out working their asses off.
Right. I'm not familiar with them.
Okay. One of the heavier bands on this bill for sure.
Right.
Charlotte Sands.
Weirdly, a name that I seem to feel like I recognize, but I definitely don't know musically.
Really? You recognize it?
I feel like I
why.
do, but it might just be because I read it a few seconds before we started saying it. But it's like, or I know someone called Charlotte Sands. I don't know. I know a few Charlottes.
Okay. Counterparts. Again, it's a good booking for download. They fit there. They're a great band. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, decent band. Agreed. So.
Crystal Lake. Nope.
Nope.
Death by Rummy.
Nope.
Defects. Yeah, another great band.
Nope for me. Don't know.
Okay. Delilah Bond.
Nope.
Dream State. I'm a little familiar with Dream State, but not enough to have too strong of an opinion, really.
No, I also don't think I'm familiar with them. One of the things I do notice is this must be like a thing in modern music, because I see this actually not just at download, but a lot of bands are just like appear to just be a person's name. Like Calva Louise, Charlotte Sands, Delilah Bond, and there's loads more as well. But anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, but I don't know Dream State.
Well, one band that is an actual band and not one person. It's Dying Fetus, another one of the heavier options for this. Yeah, they're a cool band, and the new album's really good. So yeah,
I like them. I don't rate them quite as highly as I know that you do. I like them, but
I like them. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way. I don't think I'd be buying a Dying Fetus solo tour ticket anytime soon. Dying Wish.
Sounds like I should know them because it says dying, but I don't. I don't think I do anyway.
Okay, what about Elvana?
Nah.
We got Error. They're a cool band. Again, I feel like they're a good choice for download. Again, these bands like Error, Counterparts, and all that sit in the heavier side of post-hardcore and metalcore and that side of things, but they're also quite young, and Error fit that as well.
I don't know Error either.
Fit for a King.
I know them. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
they
like
were
them. I think they're a
this
decent
year,
band.
weren't they?
Yeah, I think they were there, weren't they? It was Fit for a King and Bleed from Within. I think we're like on the main stage, weren't they?
God, this feels like a lifetime ago already.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, what about Froze Mode?
Nah, never heard of that before.
Gel?
No.
Halocene?
Nope.
Hanabi?
Nope.
Harper?
Another name. Woohoo. Don't know them though.
We do know Harriet though.
Yes, we do.
Again, it's a smart booking. It's a cool booking for download. On a personal thing, I've seen this band a hell of a lot, and I'm going to continue to see them, no doubt, throughout 2024 as well.
Yeah, like you said, it's a good band. It's a good band.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough. Like I said, like seen them a few times, and it's not the sort of thing I'd buy a ticket to download specifically because Harriet were there, But if I was
of course, there. Yeah. Holding Absence. They're a cool band as well. They're doing it right.
But
Hoobastank. Swear these guys have been around forever.
Yeah, I think the same. The name I know. Even though they probably have been around forever, I still don't think I'd listen to them ever.
Hmm.
So I don't even know stylistically what they do.
I'm gonna guess because I don't think I do
I'll go
either.
for it.
Scar?
I want to have a look. I'm just going onto the band bit really, really quick to have a look and see if it
Yeah, I feel
says.
like the Scar or something like that. Hmm.
No, doesn't tell me anything.
Just got to Google it.
Yeah,
Stank.
it's the name.
Rock band. Oh, just American rock band.
Been around a while though. They're obviously very, very popular.
94. Shit, are they a new metal band? 94. Maybe. I don't know. Clearly,
Yeah.
we neither of us have a fucking clue about them.
Nope.
Hot Wax.
Nope.
Imminence. It kind of rings a bell, but I don't know why.
Nope. Not for me.
Carnival. They are very interesting live. I don't always get on with them on record, but they're very interesting live.
I only know the name. That's the thing. I looked at the name and instantly knew the name, but I can't place it.
Fair enough. Kelsey Carter and the Heroines.
Nope.
Same. No idea. Knife Bridge.
Bride. No.
Oh, yeah. Knife Bride. Good call. You're right. That's not a G. No, it's no G. I added it. Lord of the Lost. I don't really know them very well, but I know they're kind of making waves at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, what do I know them from? Were they like Eurovision or something like
Was
that, weren't
that
they?
them?
And then they had out on tour like supporting. They were supporting someone like huge in metal. I'm sure it was them.
Is that them? The German rock band from Hamburg. Oh, yeah. Represented Germany in the Eurovision Song Contest with the song Blood and Glitter.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't watch like Eurovision like religiously, but I watch bits of it and snippets of it, and I remember watching them, and they were fun on that. And then I saw
Hmm.
that they were out on like a tour with somebody big. I can't remember who it was. It could have been like a Ramstein or a Power Trip. No, not Power Trip.
Really?
Sorry, like some other Power, the Power Metal ones, but Power Wolf. Or like
Oh, I think you're
it was
right. Yeah,
something like
Powerwolf.
that. And then I thought, oh, I might have to check these guys out. And then I listened to some of their music like on the record, and I fucking hated it. I didn't hate it, but it was there was too much of the
It's
electronica
industrial
for
by the
me.
sound of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, they'll fit it. They'll fit it download then.
Hey, I'd watch them, to be fair. I'd go and have a look.
Yeah, same. Make them suffer. Cool band. That's it. That's all I got to say.
I don't know them, but I like the name. So I was like, oh, they sound like I should like them.
Miso.
No.
Noah Finnis. Noah
Yeah,
Finnis? Yeah.
it kind of looks like that, but I don't know them. But then I thought I knew a band called Noah Finch, but maybe I'm mixing it up. But
Maybe you are
it
right.
doesn't say Finch because it does say
Two
like Noah
N's.
Finch, but I don't know,
Don't know them. Oxymorons. This is a very smart booking by Download. Another good example of them putting their finger up and checking where the winds go. And Morons are on a bit of a flyer at the moment. In fact, go check out an interview with one of the vocalists on this very YouTube channel to kind of see how cool they are. A crossover band doing hardcore rap with hip hop elements as well. If I was there, I'd be like, yep, this is one of the bands I'm going to definitely go out of my way to see.
and I don't know them.
Fair enough. Pest Control rings a bell.
Yeah, it's another one I don't know. It's mad how many bands I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
I mean this part is difficult. Pink Shift, don't know him.
nah, same.
Rory,
Nope, I do not know you, Rory.
indeed. Royal and the Serpent.
Nope.
And again, I go back to Download again, being smart. It's Scene Queen. It's Scene Queen, talk about making a massive amount of noise in recent times. And that's only going to increase as we build to this album release. They're probably going to be bigger than they are currently where to build, like in what stage they're going to be on. I wouldn't be surprised if they're quite high up. And I can see them going down very, very well at Download.
I feel like I recognize the name, but that may just be from you or from like stuff like I don't know if we covered it on the website or something like that. I don't feel like I know them well, but
Did you read last week's Single Slam?
yeah, I read them every week. Of course I do. I'm
Well,
committed.
yeah, I'm only asking because Scene Queen was covered in the new Scene Queen
Right.
song, which is a very adult song as well, was covered in that.
Right.
Okay, Scowl.
Nope.
Shadow of Intent. That sounds like a 90s new metal band. Done it, Shadow of Intent. It sounds like the basic word generator.
Or a video game.
Or a video game, yeah. Silverstein. Weirdly, I like them more these days than I did back in the day.
Yeah, another band have been around a very, very long time. Never really been a huge fan. I used to listen to a little bit more when I was younger, actually. I remember listening, I can't remember the name of the song. The first time I'd heard them was because it came on a free CD, like on Kerrang or something like that. But I never really
That would make sense.
got listened to it like religiously, you
know. Slaughter to Prevail. I'm gonna be that guy. They're overrated. They're overrated, and I'm not getting it. That's my opinion. It's heavy, it's noisy, but man, is it boring.
Yeah, I'm not huge on it on record, but I've also never seen them, so I would go and check it out, I think, even though I don't know how much I'd enjoy it, but I'd go and check it out.
Fair.
Buy a
All right,
mask.
Speed.
No.
Storm.
Nope.
The Bluestones.
Nope.
The Callous Dow Boys, again, another band that's beginning to make a fair bit of noise. I keep seeing a name pop up at multiples of festivals. That's the thing. They're kind of spreading their wings around. So again, seems like a smart booking on the download part.
Yeah, so I was going to say the same thing. I haven't actually checked any of their music out yet, but seeing their name everywhere. So whoever's doing their marketing is doing a good job.
Those Damn Crows, listen, it's anthemic rock music, perfect for this, perfect for most festivals. I think this is a band that can play at Glastonbury, Reading and Leeds, Bloodstock, Slam Dunk, and Download. Like, that's they're I don't love them, like, personally, but if they were there and I had a few drinks in me, I think I'd get into it.
Yeah, a few drinks and get into most things. Yeah, I know the band as well. Yeah, not a huge fan, but certainly don't mind them. Probably enjoy it live as well. So
Tiger Cub.
Nothing.
Underside.
Don't think so, no.
Same. Until I Wake.
Sounds like metalcore, but I don't know them.
Could be, yeah. Earn. Obviously amazing to see them booked for this festival. More than deserved. I hope they get more than here's a 30-minute slot. So you've only can play 3 songs, basically, from the Earn catalogue. Yeah, thing is, like, going to see them in December as of the time of recording. So it's hard for me to look at and go like, oh, well, that's a great... It's like if I was there on the day and Earn were at a festival, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, is I could have seen in December, so you kind of like, that's first. I reckon then by the time you got to like February, March, it'd be like, oh, I'd like to see Earn again. you know. But
agreed.
It's like you said, it's awesome. It's an awesome booking for them, so I think they'll do well.
Yeah. Vukovi.
Don't know.
Wargasm, again, a name I see just thrown about everywhere.
The Bloodstock a couple of years back, weren't they?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I'll just put that straight out there right now. It's not for me. So
yeah, I don't think it is for me either. And Zulu.
No, don't know.
Same. Okay, we're going to move on to the bigger bands, in inverted commas, the ones that have their own font. And we'll start going from right backwards up. We'll work our way up. So we start with Fear Factory. It's just bad timing for this, as far as I'm concerned. Only just off seeing them live and coming away slightly underwhelmed. Weirdly, though, I think at a festival, I'd probably enjoy them more because, hey, here's 45 minutes where it is a best of, not an hour plus, you know?
Yeah, like you said, literally less than a week ago saw them for the first time in a fair few years. To then, so at the moment I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. So yeah, I can understand the underwhelmed feeling. I felt a little bit the same. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would enjoy it. For me, like we said after that gig, kind of want to hear new music from them.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm going to get at a festival. So see them in a couple of years' time, maybe when the new album's out and they're on a tour.
Oh yeah, that's it there. Okay, Biohazard. Still doing the rounds. Obviously played Bloodstock this year. Didn't see them then because there was Sunday night Sophie Lancaster stage closers. So cool to see them at Download. They'll go down a trait, whatever stage they're on. Presumably second stage based off the size and the font and all that. Yeah, I think they're a smart booking, an easy one.
Yeah, they are. They're a good band. I just kind of want them to hurry up and get the Biohazard cycle done with, so they can get back to doing some fucking Power Flow and
Billy Bio stuff.
Billy Bio stuff as well.
I hear that. Black Dahlia Murder. honestly, yeah, great to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Hope to get a rousing reception. I'm sure they will. But yeah, great to see them back out there.
Next one intrigued me as I didn't think anyone would touch this band for a little while until kind of things had settled down. And it's Thy Art Is Murder. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into the controversy about who's right and who's wrong. Everybody fucked up in some way or another, one more than another, obviously, in every single way. But they've been quick to try and move on, and they've been quick to try and capitalize. And they played some shows in this country a few weeks ago, and I think they sold at the Roundhouse, or at least got very close to selling at the Roundhouse in London. So they're clearly doing perfectly fine. But I was a bit surprised to see them booked for download. I thought maybe, like a lot of festivals, be like, look, let's leave it a year, see how things are getting on. You know, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the name at the moment, but maybe that's just me overthinking it more than anything else. Either way, could really care less. Not really. I never, you know, they're not huge on my radar at pre anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really think too much on the whole controversy sort of thing, but you're right. I guess usually when a band's, I don't know, got a bit of stick going on, people tend to just like stay away from them for a little while. Maybe they keep their heads down, that sort of thing. But it's weird with them because I've always enjoyed them. Obviously, I had some great moments watching them. I don't, other than at a festival, I've never actually gone to see Thy Art Is Murder for Thy Art Is Murder, but I've seen them multiple times because I've gone to see other bands and they happen to be supporting them.
True.
You know, but I've always enjoyed it while I've watched them. So it's that whole thing. And that, you know, I'll probably pop my head in there and have a little look and see what was going on with them, to be honest, see how the new singer sounds. And
I hear that. Okay, this one I'm struggling to read. Porapia?
Polyphia.
Polyphia.
I can't read that either, but I went into the artist bit to try and work out what it said, but it's Polyphia.
I'm hoping you can tell me something about this band because I don't know a thing.
Well, I can tell you that their name is Polyphia.
Yep.
Hang on. I'm slowly right. They have white jumpers on. Does that help? Texas. It might be quite interesting, right? They have made a name for themselves, blending intricate guitar riffs with hip hop rhythms, bass heavy trap music, and progressive rock and metal influences. An international force with sold at shows across the globe, hundreds of millions of streams and video views, and a die-hard fan base. All that bit always scares me. Say nice things. Say nice things.
Okay. Clearly, they are big. And I'm
like
just, I've just not crossed paths with them. Fair enough. High Lung. This baffles me. This fucking baffles me. Honestly, because I know Download. High Lung are not playing. They're playing during the day. This is because it's height of summer. It's June anyway. This looks like they're on the second stage, which means they've probably got 45 minutes. It's a waste of time. You're going to come away disappointed. The High Lung thing is their own show. It's all about atmosphere. It's all about the sounds and the atmosphere they're creating. Doing a 45-minute odd set, 50 minutes, on the second stage in the bright sunlight, I think it's dumb as fuck. Yeah. Hope they got a good paycheck.
I've never seen them before, so, you know, for me, it'd be like, oh, I'll go and see them for sure. And I probably I can understand. I might even come away thinking, oh, that was a bit of a letdown because I guess, broad daylight for 30, 40 minutes or whatever. It's not going to be the same, is it? You know, but I've never seen them before, so it'd be a band for me.
Indeed. They do have a hardcore fan base, though, which I find quite weird. But there you go, you know. Right. Talking about hardcore fan bases, it's one of the worst bands in the world. It's Bowling for Soup. And I am justified by that because I saw them live only last year and they absolutely stunk up the venue. That was Slam Dunk. That was their opportunity because I got no hate for Bowling for Soup as individuals, as human beings. I actually really like them and wish them all the best. Except please stop making music. You suck at it. And your old stuff sounds terrible live as well. I saw this. I laughed and went, them again. Because that's what it is to me. Just another band doing the rounds and I couldn't care less. It's the one band I feel very harsh and strongly about because you'd be like, well, they don't do you any harm. And it's like, that's how I used to view it until I saw them at Slam Dunk. And I was like, oh, no, you are actually doing me harm because you're taking a spot on a festival, a big spot on a festival, and you fucking suck. So that's my rant about Bowling for Soup done.
Other than that, they're all right. Yeah, it's a weird thing, this, right? Because I don't like them either.
Mm.
Oh, what a surprise! But I know for an absolute fact that if I was at Download, I would be watching them purely because I would be there. And if I was there, my wife and my daughter would be there. And there's no way in the world I wouldn't be able to go and see them because they will be standing there drooling over them and about how they're the greatest band in the world ever.
Mm.
Which I don't kind of get. When I saw them at Slam Dunk, I disliked pretty much everything I saw. I didn't like it musically. I didn't find the jokes humorous. But it was what I will say is that the people that are into them were quite good spirits, bouncy, good fun. So I kind of enjoyed the atmosphere of it while not enjoying what was playing out, if that makes sense. But anyway, so yeah, it's not a band that I would go there for me to see, but I know that if I was there, there's no way in the world I would be getting my wife away from that.
You're absolutely right. I know how it goes. Okay, baby metal. And this is interesting to me because I think at the moment, or at least it certainly seems that way, that the buzz is gone. As it always does, hailed as the next big thing, reached a high level early on, particularly in other countries and so on, and now seem to be stagnating. Now, people say it's because they need new music and all that kind of thing and so on, but ultimately there's also been some member changes that doesn't look like they moved up in size in regards to previous Download bookings. I wonder if the bottom has dropped out now for baby metal and they've kind of just hit their peak. Do I think they'll bring a hell of a show? Yes. But I would have liked them to come back to Download as like a headliner of the second stage and bring the entire show. Whereas now I think it's just going to be another early evening second stage or maybe early afternoon main stage show. And that just means it's nothing special again. And it doesn't feel like a step up for me. And I kind of wanted to see if they could bring it. Like if they were given that position, let's bring it. But ultimately, clearly, as far as Down is concerned, they've not done enough to warrant a higher position.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them around a year ago, maybe a
Oh,
little
of
bit
course.
longer than that.
Wembley, yeah.
Yeah, Wembley Arena.
And
With
I saw them pre-COVID at the Apollo. So we both see them
yeah,
live.
but obviously where I saw them, they were part of a bigger tour, so it wasn't like they sold out Wembley Arena. I mean, the headliner was Sabaton, and
Yeah.
that's a big pull on its own anyway. And plus, there were other bands there as well, weren't there? There's like Lordi and some of that. So it was this big stadium tour, and they went on that, and they were popular there. I could see that, and that was so I have actually now seen them. I don't know. Part of me doesn't really care because I'm not a fan. And even though I watched them and I found it to be reasonably entertaining to watch, it didn't make me a fan. It was like, oh, okay, it's quite entertaining. I can see why people are entertained, but I still don't love the music. So, it's not like I came out there sold now and I've got baby metal on my headphones or anything like that. It's like, God,
Obviously.
no. Visual experience, quite interesting and entertaining in a very weird way. Very, very odd. I don't know. It's difficult for me because I don't know Download that well. So when I see bands and like, obviously even by font size to me, I'm like, I don't know what that means. Is that like, how high up is that? Do you know what I mean?
You are right. I am doing some guesswork here in position wise, and
I mean,
but
I'm looking at it like left to right, So I'm looking at it like as in you work up the poster means you're not a bigger band, but you work at the poster means you're in a better position. That's how it normally works, right? So the people at the top are the headliners, the people at the bottom are the smaller bands. So they're kind of in that middle group around bands like Bowling for Soup.
Yep.
Which are a big band in their own right. So that's probably an all right position. But I would agree with you that I don't think they've grown. I certainly don't hear the hype about them as I used to. And like almost daily fucking hype. It certainly seems more quiet, but
we shall see. Let's see what comes next. It's The Used. You still haven't quite forgiven them for pulling up Slam Dunk. Was it last year? Considering they were one of my most anticipated bands at the time. I didn't get really pissy about it the way other people did because obviously they pulled out and then basically did a US tour. And it's like, well, yeah, but they're from the US. It kind of is going to be cost effective and stuff like that. If I was at Download, I'd go on my way to see them because I haven't seen The Used in probably 15 years. And I do still like them.
I've never seen them and I never really liked them per se, but I'd go and see them. I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but if I was there, I'd go and see them if there was nothing else on. So
same for Billy Talent, really. I think they're a good band. Don't love them massively, but they're a cool band.
Yeah, I like Billy Talent. I think they're good, high energy, fun stuff. So a couple of tracks. I don't know loads by them, but I know a couple of tracks, you know, and I like them tracks. So.
And then we get Sum 41 doing their final UK festival, which answers the question many people had, because they seemed a dead cert to do Slam Dunk, considering it was going to be their final year. And it didn't get booked for Slam Dunk. And this is clearly why. His download obviously got him in for this final UK festival. Listen, that's the reason to go see him. It'll be the last time you see. Note the word, though, folks, final UK festival. The tours are coming still, basically. So if you don't get to see them at Download and you want to see them, they're going to tour the UK at some point before this year's over, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean, if I was there, I'd go and watch them, obviously.
Yeah.
Never really had any interest in seeing them before. When we did see them at Slam Dunk, I had a great time.
There it is. Congratulations to While She Sleeps for having reached the size they are, where their font and position on this poster is above the likes of Baby Metal, Bowling for Soup, Fear Factory, Biohazard, Thy Art Is Murder, so many bands sitting alongside the likes of Sum 41, the other bands that we'll mention in a minute. Congratulations to you. You've clearly done exactly what you needed to do. Your direction change and music and where you've gone has worked wonders for you. Sold out Alexandria Palace. I couldn't be happier for you. Unfortunately, I am no longer on board. I've struggled to enjoy pretty much everything come my way. I end up almost being apologetic when I'm listening to certain songs, like the latest one they did, Self-Hell. Self-Hell, was it? Yeah, Self-Hell. And kind of like did a reaction to where I like parts of it, but there were parts I disliked so much. And you always sit there going, I don't want to say anything too mean about this band because, you know, I've supported you from the very start. But unfortunately, this is a train I no longer feel I'm on. It might come back around in the future. Unlikely, though. The direction they've gone is one that I don't really care for. But my God, is it bringing them success? And hey, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, everything you say is correct. It's worked for them, and well done to them for that. I'm going to be less pleasant about this, to be honest with you, because I've been pleasant about it for a couple of years, which was like, oh, it's not for me, but I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for them. I'm not anymore. I don't give a fuck anymore, to be honest with you. I fell off the train. I hated the self-title. That was self-titled, wasn't it? Or Sleep Society, that's what it was. Sorry.
Yeah, Sleep Society, yeah.
I didn't like that. I tried to get on board with that. A couple of songs that are all right in it, but mostly I thought that was crap as well. We went and saw them live. Thought the new fan base that they had were irritating. I don't like the image. I don't like the new music. They're doing what they need to do to be successful. It's none of my damn business, but I'm not only throwing me off the train. I couldn't give a fuck if they're successful or not, or they crash and burn tomorrow. So I still I still listen to their old songs though, and I always will. It's that whole thing though, because we've had this with bands in the past. It's like, I'm going to become one of those dickheads. I'm going to be like, you know, the people that go, oh, Machine Head never released anything good after Burn My Eyes. I'll just be like, what do you think? Never released anything good after? And I have to choose what point I'm going to come in at.
Ooh. Yeah, because there's an argument, you know, about where that is. Okay. Yeah. Corey Taylor, given an insanely high position in this poster because his name is Corey Taylor, but this is obviously just Corey Taylor solo stuff, presumably the smattering of other things he does, Stone Sour, Slipknot, and all of that, and so on. Listen, if that's your jam, have a blast. I'd struggle to accept payment to go see it. Not only do I think it would be incredibly boring, I think it'll be very self-indulgent. So not for me, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any interest in it either, to be honest with you. That's no hatred of Corey or anything like that. Corey's a legend, but I still don't want to go and see the solo stuff.
There it is. Bad Omens. I just don't really listen to this band. I know obviously it's a legendary name, but I don't really think I've listened to much of them.
No, I'm the same. I know the name, but I know nothing else about them. I was surprised when I saw this. It's not the only one that surprised me, but not because, oh my God, look how high up it is, but I guess sometimes that's like, oh, I didn't realize they were this big. It's more like what it was. So.
And that then brings us to the last collection of bands, starting with a band in its own little funty area right in the middle, which I don't know what the hell that means. It's Pantera making their first UK appearance in 20 years. Of course, this is, you can call it your Pantera covers band if you want. You can call it Pantera, call it what Phil Anselmo doing Pantera, whatever the hell you want. But it is effectively this Pantera show that's been going on around the world. It's a super smart booking for Download. Somebody was going to get them this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if every major rock and metal festival has tried to get them. I wouldn't be surprised if Bloodstock tried. to get them back. Because bear in mind, it was supposed to play Bloodstock this year.
Yeah.
So they haven't. Now, there doesn't appear to be anything written about exclusivity or anything like that. So who knows, whatever. But I kind of feel like Bloodstock's kind of done all its major big ones. So I don't think this is going to happen. I think more likely maybe the end of 2024 to get a UK tour more than anything else, if at all. Yeah. But, you know, similar to the Bloodstock thing, while I don't necessarily care too much, this is the only opportunity I'm ever going to get to see as close to Pantera as possible. So it would be a big deal to me. I would go out my way to see this.
Absolutely.
It's a band that's, if we were buying a day ticket and this was the day they were on, it would account for a large portion of that day ticket price for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gutted that they're well, I mean, unless they do get announced at Bloodstock 2, but because I was banking on them being an announcement at some point at Bloodstock because of the fact that they were meant to be there last year and then couldn't be there. I 100% understand everybody's position by saying it's not the real Pantera, it's not the real Pantera. But also, unless we learn how to resurrect corpses, there's never going to be another real Pantera. You know, it is the living half of Pantera, and it's then two people that were heavily connected to Pantera and friends of, you know, the Albert brothers. So for me, like, it's not a tribute act. It's the best we're ever going to get. And I never got to see Pantera, so I really, really want to see it. Lots of nostalgia in that, like, you know,
it's pure nostalgia.
But that's what I want to do it for, you know, and I want to do it. So I wouldn't go to download only for Pantera, but if they're on a day where there are 20 or 12 or 10 other bands that I was maybe also interested in, were worthy enough bands to make a decent day of it, I'd consider going for that. Weirdly enough, and I guess this is just how stupidly old and whatever I am, to me, I'm like, oh, why aren't they a headliner? But I guess that's just, you know, that's the different genre styles or something like that, maybe.
It's a question I actually have seen come up a lot on comments and so on. But I do think, you're booking a festival for you.
Yeah.
Is Pantera's first UK appearance in 20 years selling download tickets to the casual audience, which is what they want to get to? That's what they need to come. It's not. You said it yourself. It's not. Likewise, those saying that Machine Head should have headlined also clearly do not understand how to book download or festivals. Looking at this, I'm going to suspect Machine Head are headlining the second stage based off this trio of ones running along the top. I have taken this as a positive because it means 100% now, it means Machine Head are back doing festivals. Of course, we had that secret festival set at Bloodstock, not this year, the year before, but that didn't necessarily mean they were back. This confirms it. And it's cool. It also means, though, that we are not going to get Pantera and Machine Head on the same day.
I did think that. I was like, oh, that could be interesting.
It's not going to happen, is it?
I don't know. They might be all good now, all older men now.
Who knows?
Again, like, I'm happy. Hey, good, Machine Head back out there. I love Machine Head, always will. Very unlikely there's anything they can do that's going to make me ever dislike them. I've been like a fan for like 30 fucking years. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's hard to turn that off. So it's cool that they're out and about and doing this sort of stuff again. I'm happy with that. And also, for a lot of people, the festival set from Machine Head is going to be, it's a great thing, right? Because what do you get, like an hour headline in second stage? 45 minutes to an hour?
I'm not sure. It's got to be at least an hour.
Yeah, so you got to be, you're getting like an hour of best of Machine Head. What a great set that should be for a lot of people, like if they like the heavier side of stuff. So
hell yeah.
I guess the only thing, but I'm here, you never know, but my only sort of disappointment with that again is I'm always looking at these bands and going, oh, that doesn't say exclusive or anything. But then you look at the band positions that are left at Bloodstock and you think it's not really going to come in any lower than the ones that are already announced, you know. But
considering before Opeth got announced as the last headliner of Bloodstock 2024, the biggest prediction you would have seen was Machine Head. People seem to think that was going to be the case. So yeah, there's no Machine Head at Bloodstock this year, I think.
But
there
maybe
you go.
a tour. Maybe a tour.
Maybe a tour, absolutely. Then we've got the Offspring. I can only go on recent times. Unlucky download. If they're anything like they were at Slam Dunk, gutted. Hope you're used to really bad jokes, non-stop talking, and noodling in between the songs that you know. That's my overriding memory of Offspring from Slam Dunk. It's not that I thought they sucked. When they were playing their music, it was fun and it was good and all of that. But fuck me, actually getting them to play their music seemed to be the biggest problem. I swear half that set was them just talking.
Yeah, it was absolutely. I mean, I'd never seen them before, so I was quite excited to see them at Slam Dunk. And exactly what you said is right. I really enjoyed every moment while they were playing, and I thought they sounded good. But they just didn't play a lot. They were there for like an hour and a half, and I felt like they played about 3 fucking songs. I'm sure there were more, but it was just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. And it almost got to the point where when a song finished, I'd be like, I'll just go to the bar and get a beer now because I'll be back in time for the next song.
There it is. Hopefully the download tells them to keep it tight.
Yeah.
There you go. And Royal Blood. I must be missing something with this band. I know they're like their name on everyone's lips, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, they're amazing" and all this kind of thing. But I feel like this one is passing me by, particularly to see them apparently on the same level as the Offspring and Machine Head, and above the likes of While She Sleeps and Sum 41, and at least on this poster above Pantera. Although I don't necessarily think that's the case. I presume Pantera are probably going to have a special guest slot on the main stage more than anything else. But yeah, I'm not really getting the Royal Blood thing.
I don't get it either. I mean, we probably wouldn't, would we? You know, we're talking about the excitement of seeing bands like potentially Dying Fetus, Harriet, Machine Head, Pantera. You know, it's not necessarily a booking designed for people like us.
I hear that, and then we hear headliners. And let's go left to right. Let's start with your Friday night headliner, folks. It is Queens of the Stone Age. Arguably, I think the one that's caused the most controversy of all, whenever I see it online, which is simply this. People either don't care or think they are not worthy of a headliner slot. Now, that I fucking struggle with, in the sense that I always thought Queens of the Stone Age were a big, big band. But then I realized I was thinking of a Queens of the Stone Age of 20 years ago. And then I'm like, wait, yeah, what have they done in recent times to warrant this sudden? Because it's the first time they've ever headlining Download this position. It's definitely left me a bit confused. What also leaves me confused about this one is I'm like, this feels really niche. Like, do they have a widespread appeal, not just in the rock and metal side of things, but even in the casual side of things? Like, I don't necessarily see them as a ticket seller at all.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know that they don't do stuff still. That's that whole thing. You say Queens of the Stone Age to me, I see Dave Grohl on drums.
You're talking. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're talking about.
All I hear is that stupid fucking song. No one knows. Oh, the minute you say Queens of the Stone Age, I just start going.
That's over like 20 years ago, man.
Yeah. I mean, I was never a fan. I don't rate them. I never have rated them. I was never big into it. Didn't like it. They're obviously. I mean, Download must know what they're doing. There must be some fan base for it there anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't offend me. I don't care. I just wouldn't watch it.
Other one obviously is the one that causes a bit more controversy as well. It is Fall Out Boy, their Saturday night headline. And this one confuses me a little as to why apparently this is controversial. This is a Download band as far as I'm concerned, and the fact they've never headlined before is actually quite surprising to me. It's Fall Out Boy. They're a big name who appeal to a wide array of people. Maybe not on a heavier spectrum, of course, but there are more than enough people who will not only get nostalgia for it as well, but also people who are young who enjoy it today. This is the kind of booking that I think pulls in the people who would normally go to Reading and Leeds, and this is what I think people are maybe missing, and I'm not smart for thinking of this because I'm sure of this, but I think people are really missing something here, that I think Download are beginning to look towards a different audience as to try and draw them in. And basically, rather than trying to get the people that go to Bloodstock and get the people that go to Wacken and get the people that go to Rock am Ring and all these other festivals, they've gone, oh, hold up a second here. Glastonbury sells out and loads of people are left disappointed. What if we could get even 1 or 2% of that audience that wasn't able to go to come to ours? This is the kind of booking that does that. Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get any controversy with, like, I don't get why there's controversy about these, but then, like, I'm an old man with like an old man's mentality on this shit, right? Firstly, I actually don't mind Fall Out Boy. I don't listen to them on record a lot, but I know a couple of tracks from them, and
Fair
they're
enough.
good, energetic fun. I also know if I was there, I'd probably go and check it out, see a bit of it,
Same.
because I've never seen it before, and I probably wouldn't buy a ticket to a show, so I'd probably go and see what it's all about. I also know my daughter's a big fan of them, so you're talking an 11-year-old here who listens to bands like this. So this is like your next audience, right? So this
Mm.
is a band. If they come along, they put on a good show, and it all goes well, and they come out of there with big fans. This is starting to form your next level of future headliners, right, for big festivals. So that's a good thing. I
Mm.
also don't see the difference because, and this is where I was bringing the old man bit into it, because 20 years ago, that might have said My Chemical Romance. Now it says Fall Out Boy. I don't see that much of a difference between those two sorts of bands. These are alt rock, sort of little emo vibe, a bit punky and all that sort of stuff. If it said My Chemical Romance up there, other people would be going fucking yay. But it says Fall Out Boy. It's just, yeah, to me, I'm not seeing the difference. That's the truth. So I'm happy for them. Well done. I reckon they'll put on a good show, and if people accept it for what it is and don't just pretend they hate it, they'll probably come out saying that was good fun.
Of the three headliners, it would be the one I would be most interested in seeing. And I bet you never thought you'd hear that, people. Both of us
Yeah.
on this video defending Fall Out Boy.
Whatever next.
Because then we get to the third headliner. For me, it's the most boring one of all. It's Avenged Sevenfold. Again, another booking, a rebooking of Download. But what I don't have an issue with that, because remember the whole who the hell did you get the headline stuff we said at the start. My thing is, what have they done new? Like, I'm like, have they done anything new? I'm pretty sure they had a new album recently, but that came and went because I heard nothing really about it.
Oh, I heard lots of negative.
Oh,
I don't know if it was the whole album. I remember a single coming out. I don't even know. Maybe the whole album's out now because I didn't follow it. And I checked that single out, and I was like, "The fuck is this shit, man? These guys are in experimental phase."
are they?
Yeah, that's what it feels like to
Really?
me. Weirdly though, like I ain't ever seen Avenged Sevenfold live because I'm very hot and cold on them. I really am. I have stuff that I like very, very much, and I have stuff that I really, really don't like. There's no particular reason. I just don't like all of the stuff. Festival stuff, as long as they didn't do too much in the way of new stuff and kind of like focus on some of the older, bigger City of Evil sort of like era hits, I'd probably have a blast, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's what they do. I'm going back 20 years, isn't I, again, or like 15 years. So
Right, so it's called Life Is But a Dream, was released
yeah.
June 2nd, 2023. It was apparently received acclaim from music critics for its themes, experimental approach, and blend of influence and genres, but has been less commercially successful than any of the band's previous albums. So, yeah, there you go.
Experimental approach, two very, very dangerous words to a fan base.
It can be. Yeah, and that's your download current light. Sorry, I did it wrong again. Liquid Death presents download 2024. Pick three. Pick three bands that would be for you ticket sellers.
Oh man, because I'm so predictable. I'm gonna do three bands that are all right. Let me do three ticket sellers and three bands I check out that just because I haven't seen them before. Then
Do that then.
all right.
Yep.
So my ticket sellers: Pantera,
Yep.
Machine Head, Urn.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Three that I would go to because I haven't seen. Oh, do you want to do your free tickets?
Yeah, I'll do my three as well. I would choose Pantera, Fall Out Boy, and Alien Weaponry.
Cool. So, and all six of those bands I'd happily watch. So
yeah,
three bands just because I'd like to check them out because I haven't seen them before. Fall Out Boy would be one of them. Fuck me, that's hard. I wish I hadn't said to do this one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sum 41, Fall Out Boy, and purely because I haven't seen them before, so I'd probably check it out, Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm going to do Queens of the Stone Age because I've never seen them live. I'm 99% sure I have seen Avenged before, but not a big enough deal to me. Oxymorons, and I'm going to throw in... No, because I would want to see them. I'm going to throw in Biohazard because I didn't get to see them at Bloodstock. So that would be an easy one to do. Yeah, we're not done. But that's the thing. We're not done. There's more to be announced. This festival is easily, I think, nearer to 200, if not more than that, bands every single year. And I think this year they'll have a very packed undercard as well. That's our opinion on the bands. That's our opinion on the festival. You know, as I said, it's starting to repeat it. Just because you don't like it, someone might love it, and vice versa. Just because you love it, someone doesn't like it, and you're both allowed to say it. Just give us some justifications and don't say stupid things like Fall Out Boy aren't big enough to headline. But there you go. That's our thoughts on Download's first announcement. Let us know yours in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.